a special guest, actually, that's going to be interviewing our award recipient today. He is, you might have seen the documentary, The Union. Have you guys seen The Union yet? It's amazing. Yeah, and have you seen The Culture High yet? With Richard Branson, Joe Rogan, and our guest of honor today, Ben Dronkers. He's also the editor of the 12th edition of The Emperor Wears No Clothes, and he's also the owner of the THC Expo, which I'm proud to say will be happening June 20th and 21st at the LA Coliseum. So it's an event we support. This guy has been one of the most long-time activists in the game. This guy spent years in federal prison. This guy is no joke. Please welcome to introduce and interview our guest of honor, Skyping in from Borneo, Todd McCormick. Give it up, y'all.
Hello, Mike. Everybody, thank you very much for coming out today. It's really an honor to be up here in front of you. 21 years ago, I stepped into Ben Dronkers' Cannabis Castle for the first time and was incredibly inspired by what I saw. Ben Dronkers started Sensi Seeds back in the 80s, long before there really was a cannabis industry, because he saw a need to protect the seeds that would be for the future generations. Shortly after starting Sensi Seeds, he got involved in collecting cannabis on a massive level and purchased what is called the Hash Marijuana Museum in Amsterdam. Have any of you been to it? Well, thank you very much. He recently opened a third museum in Barcelona. He took 12 years to reconfigure a palace with about 1,000 square meters of an incredible cannabis collection that I know everybody here would appreciate, because when you think about the historical significance of cannabis and the evolution it had in Europe, where would we be without it, really? So to put Ben's really almost 40-year career in cannabis into perspective, Alex has put together a short video that we're going to show now. So could we please roll the video? Maybe turn down the lights. Hemp flax is just one part of his operation. Can we get audio up on this?
I'm smoking for about 36 years.
Yes, hold on, Ben.
And I like it still. It's nice, you know. Since I started smoking, I was very interested in what I smoke, you know. Everywhere I go, I want to see how they grow the marijuana, the hash seeds. And because I travel a lot, where I go, I take seeds. And I even go special places to find special seeds, you know. Also, then, in the beginning, I didn't have nobody have problems with the police. And if they find some marijuana, okay, it was just a plant, you know. The police didn't care. But then the police started to put people in prison. And I didn't want to go in prison for marijuana. I mean, it was my plant. So I find a hole in the law that I can grow marijuana for seeds legal. So I start my seed company. And then Sensi Seeds started, and I share my seeds with the rest of all of you there, you know. The 10 years, my hemp is in Mercedes, in Opel, in you. These cars, they have my hemp. And it's nice if I see a Mercedes, hey man, my hemp is going there. So slowly, slowly it's coming. And it's accepted because they realize the best quality to use this. They use it for the door panel, for the dashboard, you know, for the trunk. And if your car crashed, you know, hemp doesn't splinter like plastics. So it's for the safety also much better. They have to realize more and more and more hemp will be the future, you know, absolutely. Tell you one thing for sure, and this is historical, but everybody know it who know me. Hemp will save the world. Can save the world, and is the only plant who can do that. And I bet you, you know, we bet you we will.
Wow. It's really an honor for me to be up here because back in 2012, Ben Dronkers awarded me with a Cannabis Cultural Award along with Dr. Lester Grinspoon and Sir Richard Branson at his opening of his Barcelona museum. And I thought it was a bit odd because he's my hero, to be honest. There's been no people, really few people in cannabis that have given back as much when they have made as much and been as political and been as is really out front and not just about profits than Ben Dronkers. So it is really my pleasure that Ben is being awarded the first annual International Cannabis Business Award for Lifetime Achievement. So ladies and gentlemen, can we bring on Ben Dronkers? Ben, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Thor.
Hey, buddy. Well, we're here with a few hundred close friends in the cannabis industry.
Nice.
Yep, and we just showed them a video of hemp flax, and we were looking at your career, and we were just wondering, how long ago was it that you started Sensi Seeds?
Wow, that's, I think, 30-something years, 35, I'm not sure now. I'm losing track. It's so long. It's a long way to temporary, right?
It has been a long journey. You know, and I wanted to thank you because some of the people here, like Steve D'Angelo and myself, we're in your presence when you first opened up the Cannabis Castle to us, and honestly inspired us all, and we thank you. What got you into wanting to preserve cannabis seeds, and you know, what was your passion with this?
Well, I think on school already I was a rascal, you know, a rascal, you could say it, a rebel. And when they, like I said, when they started to make forbidden, because in Holland it was not a big deal, you know, to smoke marijuana in those days. And when they make it a big deal, I couldn't stand it, you know, I didn't understand, because everybody using alcohol, they drink themselves crazy, and they were not my people, you know, and I didn't understand why this plant that made people so happy with sitting around with joints, you know, the hippie time was just going away, but it's still in the hearts of many young people those days. And it was my vision that this plant was nice, you know, and I had a special bondage with it. And even, you know, Todd, I've been arrested about 80 times, and I've been in prison maybe 7, 8, or 9 times. I lost track on that as well. And every time I went to the court, I had the feeling that this plant was with me, you know. It was not only me, it was this plant that was so amazing, that inspired me to go on, and I couldn't let it go, you know. Even one judge say, well, you'd never do it again. And I said, I'm sorry, I cannot promise you that, you know. And he was laughing also about it, you know, because probably he smoked also, you know. That's amazing, you know. Many people smoked and they were in the closet.
Right.
And couldn't come out with it, so.
Well, that brings me to question you, because a lot of your, I would say, peers in the cannabis industry in Amsterdam have not been as politically active as you. In fact, some of them have actually saw the imminent legalization as a deterrent to their success. But you obviously don't take that path, and I would like you to share a little bit about how you see capitalism and activism in the cannabis industry.
Well, to be honest, you know, when I was a kid, you know, I was a rebel, like I said, 16, 18 or what. I saw these guys with these big Mercedeses and the big money, and we didn't like it. You know, I didn't like it. And also in my business, when money came, you know, it was like a tool, you know. Money is a tool. You can do things with it. And so I did. And it was convenient that you had the money to do it, because otherwise I couldn't rent my greenhouse, you know. I rented greenhouses, and then later on, I opened a coffee shop, and then the sheet shop was there already. And then with Ed Rosenthal, we did the museum, and Robert Clark came around, Mark Emery, like you mentioned, Steve D'Angelo. All these people came to what we call then the Cannabis Castle, and also to Amsterdam, of course. And it was like the Garden of the Four Winds, you know. From everywhere, this inspiration. And not only, like you said, I realize now that I inspired a lot of people, but people inspired me. Everybody came with something new or something else, and we had fun, and we you know, we enjoyed. It's a beautiful job what we got.
Speaking of inspiration, you've been growing hemp at HempFlex now for 2 decades, and for, I understand, almost 17 years, you ran it out of passion and not profit. And what inspired you to get into the environmental cannabis hemp industry side of this? And do you feel now that that was a venture that you're proud and paid off?
Well, you know, one of our friends was Jack Herron, of course, rest his soul in peace. And together also we talked about hemp. And we had a museum already. And people came to the museum and they said, if this story, what you tell us about this plant, if this is true, how can it be true? Because nobody's doing it. Why nobody's doing it if this hemp is so important, can do so many things? And I couldn't answer that question. I could answer a lot of questions, and we can answer a lot of questions. Not all, but a lot. So that answer, why nobody's doing it, I couldn't answer it. And I had money in the bank. We made a lot of money. I grow a lot of grass, and we sold it in the coffee shop. We sold a lot of seeds, all legal. And so I had millions on the bank on a certain moment. And then I saw this flax factory bankrupt, you know, and I bought it. And we started with hemp, and we have no idea what to do with it. You know, we know it, we know it from the history that you can make food, and you can make this and that and that. And we started with out of the blue, and we just did it. And it was an adventure that I'm very happy, even now, 20 years later, guys in the Congress, it is not an easy job. Now, 20 years later, we know all about it. We can grow hemp, we produce a lot of CBD oil on the moment, thousands of kilos. We don't know where to sell it yet. Same like in the start, you know, the CBD oil is a gold rush then, and then there was nothing to rush for because we have no idea. And you know what, I tell you a funny story. On a certain moment, we started growing hemp every year, and we sold the wood for horse bedding and cat litter a bit. And then I had so much hemp fiber, and it's lucky there was a Turkish company, they needed it. And you know why they needed it? They needed for cigarette paper. So I sold 1,500 tons, you know, that's a lot, to Turkey, and they make cigarette paper out of it, so they even smoked it. And I was flabbergasted, you know, it was amazing. And now, you know already, now we are in BMW, Mercedes, even the Bugatti Veyron, the fiber from us is there. They use it in the supermarket, they grow food on it, you know, the water crash, I don't know the name in English, but they use it so much. But already, you remember, you know, in those days, we had the guys. Now you got a Congress full of people, they go for the gold rush. And you go, you should go. But remember Richard Rose, Steve D'Angelo, I remember Steve brought the first jeans, hemp jeans from, I think, Hungary. Lousy quality, but he did it, you know, and those are the people, we inspired each other. And I think after this 20 years of hemp flax, we know how to do it. So people, if you start hemp, there's a lot of factors that we learned in 20 years, and now finally we're gonna make a little bit of money. Actually, I lose it already again because we're building a new factory in Romania now. So I actually am short of money because to do it, very nice, you know. So it's a total story of my life, and it's the plant, and it's a friend. The plant inspires all of us, I guess. And maybe we don't know the consciousness that we have together with it that makes us what we are and how we are. I think so.
That's beautiful, Ben. You know, I think I really believe this is an industry where the people that are participating in it feel a real personal connection to it, more than just if they were selling cars or watches. Cannabis really is something that touches our hearts and our souls, and in some cases heals our bodies. And I can't thank you enough for all you've done, Ben. You know, you started the cannabis hash marijuana museums in the 80s, I believe, and now you've grown that into 3 facilities. You've got the Hemp Museum Gallery down the street from the Hash Museum in Amsterdam, which is devoted to the environmental benefits of hemp, and then you just opened up the Palace in Barcelona.
That's a jewel, that's a jewel. And you know, the thing is nice, like in Barcelona, the museum is a beautiful building, and we have an amazing collection. I like it, I'm proud of it. And you know what, there's not many people coming yet. You know? Slowly, it's getting better. But the most people who come is the elderly, you know, over 65, 70, and lots of them, because they remember hemp from the old days. In Catalonia, Barcelona, there was also a lot of hemp growing. So, and it is so nice to talk to these people again. And then the young people come over, and they see all these new things, and they flabbergasted of this plant. And everybody should have a look at it, because history is the lesson of the future, you know. And we so many times are looking from what we're doing with hemp now, with hemp flax, the machinery we developed, and all this development from the different factors. Many times I learn it back from the history in the books from the old days, you know, even from 300-400 years ago. The plant was the same, you know, it did the same as it do now, and you can see that in the museum, and you see this in history. So it also will be the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, you astounded us all when you got Richard Branson to participate in your Cannabis Culture Awards, and, you know, it's obvious that, you know, politics and business play into your own goals. And, you know, can you tell us a little bit about who inspires you now and where you see the cannabis industry going in the future?
Well, you know, like with Sensi Seeds, I collect, I'm a collector, right? I collect for the museum, and we're still collecting seeds. And in the last 4 years, we collected another 350, nearly 400 varieties, mainly from the east side, from Russia, Ukraine, the whole Eastern Europe side mainly. And that is interesting, because each individual strain presents something what we don't know in the future. And when we start breeding, you know, I still believe that anybody can put some nice seeds in the garden and grow a nice grass. Everybody, and you will be the best grower. I never met somebody who said he don't have the best grass, right? So that's for sure. But now we have laboratories in Sensi Seeds, and we got these guys with white coats, and you know, they go over my head, you know. We just having the classical breeding schedules what we when we started with, and now we have all our seeds are DNA selected, tested, and CBD tested, and you know, and so it becomes a more and more of a, yeah, how to say,
complex industry.
Scientific, and that is interesting and very interesting because, like, the CBD oil is a magic, you know, but the whole plant is the magic. So there's still so much to discover for it. We're funding a nano project, you know, in research, and of course this kind of things going over my head. So the new young generation and the new scientists and the new research that finally can happen also in America will show us so much more. But what it showed me in the last 40 years or so, it was flabbergasting. Every week, every month, there was something new. Richard Rose came with his hamburgers, you know, and Steve with his jeans, and this one come with tea, and that one with cookies. So every time there is something new, and it doesn't stop. And now it's really getting into the science research, and it's going to be much more. And I'm happy to still be, we are still part of it, and somehow I think we have the right vision, because we know with Hemflex we can consult now, you know, we're building machineries, we can build a whole factory, we know the ins and outs. There's a lot of factors that is important to, if you want to grow hemp. Some people come to me and they say, we want to grow hemp here or there. And then they give me what they do and where they are and what they got. And I say, don't do it, you know, because I lost, you know, not lost, we put about $30 million in it in the last 20 years. And we still don't make money, you know, out of it. But, so we learn it and we know how to do it now. And it's the same with the seed collection, you know. We have about 600 varieties, and if you see Robert Clark's book, you understand how important it is to have the land races and all these different varieties. So it is something that you do it with a vision, you do it with your heart, and you work your ass off. You know, you have to work very hard to accomplish something in these things. And I'm happy that I had so many friends, and they all accomplished something very nice. You know, so many. Richard Lee, Mark Emery, you're doing your show in June, the THC Expo. I love it. Ed Rosenthal, who's a real buddy of me also. Many of those people, you know, it's nice that we did it. I think we won. Yes. No, I don't think so. I know we won.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's like Lester Greenspoon say, you cannot put this cat back in the bag, you know? No. It is there, and it's going to be there for now, and we won it. And now is the time to, what we say, you know, dreamers are the dreamers, and people who do, they do. So it is especially the people who do, because also from America, I had in the last 2 years, maybe 10, 20 people coming over, or I told them not to do it because they didn't have enough money, or they were dreamers. They said, we have so many million, and they couldn't even buy a couple of tons of seeds, you know, when they really guarantee they should buy it. So there's a lot of dreamers. There's a lot of gold rush, you know, a lot of people who gonna think they're gonna make a buck, maybe in the audience as well. It's not easy to make a buck, you know. You have to go for it on the right way, with the right mind and the right heart, and then cannabis will reward you, because I think, you know, it's a living creature with consciousness, and as we are, and if you do good, good come. And if you think it's a money machine or a money maker or what, I don't think you're on the right track. Then you work in a bank or something.
Well, Ben, I think from everybody here, we thank you very much for the inspiration you've given us all.
Thank you for the award. I'm really honored by it, and I wish you all the best. And everybody, you know, go for it. Hemp, hemp, hooray.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Dronkers from Borneo. Thank you, Ben. Love you, man.
Yo, give it one more time. Ben Dronkers. That was really special. Ben Dronkers. Thank you, Ben. We really appreciate it, brother. It's Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, thanks, man.